Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. It's a green day for Bitcoin. Nice to see that. Thank you for joining me, and let's get straight on with the price action analysis. So, following yesterday's video, I did point out that this pullback here, which had retraced to the 382 Fibonacci, would, if Bitcoin then got back above the high, which it hasn't quite, or hasn't closed above, would be the sort of shallowest retracement, and the shallowest retracement on a pullback really signifies a strong trend. And you can see that that looks like it's brewing. And my cautious optimism gets less cautious by the day. And you can also see that being manifested in the old MACD here, which doesn't seem to have loaded up properly. Bear with me for a moment. As if by magic, there it is. So you can see that it's now very close to the zero line and will cross the zero line. If Bitcoin can close a daily time frame, which is what this price action is now, above 61.8. It's probably more like 61.5, so about $1,000 to go. And you can see, no surprises. The top of the Bollinger Band is basically where Bitcoin wicked up to today, which is 61.5. So it needs a closure back above that support resistance line that I put on, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? Might have been a couple of days ago, for confirmation of the MACD crossing back to the upside, which is momentum to the upside. And that will coincide with when the price action, or I should say if price action does get back above 61.5, that would also be trend as well. So you'd have momentum and trend on a daily time frame, which generally is a good sign for more upside. So when I say momentum, that's obvious. That's a MACD crossing the zero line. That's the way I look at it. People will look at it differently. And the trend, of course, being the highs and the higher highs and the higher lows. So this is starting to look very much like a higher low. That kind of was one, but this is a much more convincing one. However, it does need to get back above the current high. And if I get rid of all the scribble, you'll see that it's hovering around there at the moment. That's basically 60,500 for a daily closure. Now, why is the SMA come back on? Bear with me again, please. Poof, there it goes. So yes, that's the daily time frame. You can see that there's a little bit of volatility expansion on the Bollinger Band, but nothing to speak of. However, the daily is in the top half, and so if volatility does expand from here, it's likely to expand to the upside. So there we are. You can see the last volatility expansion was to the downside here, and prior to that, for a whole week, by the looks of it, a whole week, the price action was below the midpoint. So, it makes sense. And a skip down, like a little schoolboy, to the 4 hour. You can see there's a pretty impressive green candle formed this afternoon, really, in the UK. And then so far, with only 40 minutes to go, a fair pullback from that kind of resistance area. I would say it doesn't really matter too much as long as Bitcoin's closing 4 hours above basically the midpoint on the Bollinger, which is also my support resistance line, and it's also that wick low, which is around about 59, just called 59, 59.5. It's around there. You can see the MACD did flirt with crossing below the zero line, and probably did, but not properly. And it's now moved back up above the zero line and will remain, probably ignore that number, but will remain with upside posturing above 59.2, which is about $1,000 from where it is at the moment. 59.2 basically being, lo and behold, the midpoint on the Bollinger Band there. So you can see that if this is going to fail, this current bounce, which I think is less likely now, but if it is, first point of failure, people love going on about single points of failure. So the first point of failure will probably be several 4-hour closures back below 59.5-ish, but probably 59. I mean, if you want to be super duper accurate, yeah, probably like 59,250, but let's not bother trying to be too clever. That would probably be the first point of failure. And then you'd probably likely see the second point of failure, not of failure, but of pause in thought back below 57.5, which is the daily Bollinger Band midpoint. You can see this week I've been very keen on the Bollinger Band. I like to mix it up sometimes. You can do this all from price action, but you know, it's nice to have a few indicators to brighten up your chart. So that's that. If I wanted to be sort of micromanaging a little bit, you could put a Fibonacci retracement on this last 4-hour move. Now that it looks like there's going to be a pullback, and you can see I've put that the wrong way. So I'll undo that quick as a flash and put it on the right way. For you, my viewers, my beloved viewers, I'll put it on the right way this time. So from this low to this high on the 4-hour time frame, you can see the 0.5 is coming right in on that Bollinger Band midpoint. The 382 is coming in at basically just shy of 60,000. So for this trending move here, pullbacks to just shy of 60,000, all well and good. That would be a shallow retracement if then the price turned back up, something thus, and got back above then the current high here, which is at 61,200. But actually, you know, legitimate pullbacks probably as far as 59 wouldn't look too bad, and would probably necessitate more upside rather than downside next. So yeah, I think my cautious optimism, as I said a couple of minutes ago, is becoming a bit less cautious. It's still cautious, and I think it's good to be cautious as a trader or indeed an investor, because even though passive investing is absolutely brilliant, you need to give it enough time, and maybe getting a decent entry into either a long-term trade or investment, it probably sits easier on the old psyche. And you know, if psychology wasn't a big thing in trading, people wouldn't be writing books by the thousands about it. So there we go. Is there much point in checking in on the weekly? Not really. Nah, won't bother. Leave that. Maybe check in on the weekly tomorrow, because it'll be kind of halfway through the week for CME. But yeah, there you are. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe and share. If you haven't, don't come back tomorrow, because I'll be doing exactly the same thing for Wednesday. Take care. It's been great having you along. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.